investment you made in this game and the trust that you put with us to make a great game is paying out. Not happening. And again, it's one of those things where people want what they want, and they're so excited and they want these things, but ultimately I have to make the decision that's going to be best for the long-term health of this game.
Nice.
This is basically our child. So.
Nice. All right. And Dormy wants to know: are they going to keep doing Are you going to keep doing your daily updates and periodic streams after Kickstarter, or are you guys going to go off the grid?
We're not going to go off the grid. I mean, I don't think we're going to do daily updates after that point. I think we're going to do probably weekly updates. We have had the comments from some people like, "Whoa, this is a lot." Like, you're getting that email constantly from Kickstarter, an update. So we've had, some people get a little fatigued, but we would like to have, if we did it like every Friday, we had a really good update and gave you a status of where things are, what's going on, spoil some cards, that kind of fun stuff. And we're going to absolutely, for the website piece, we're going to keep having articles written for sure. We definitely, a lot of it's front-loaded. It's not going to be a daily thing either. But, like, for instance, like, we're going to, hopefully, we'll hit the goal, and we'll be able to do the Monday, Wednesday, Friday update, and you'll get to see beasts and monsters and stuff from the game with the cool flavor of, the two explorers talking about it. So we're going to have lots of stuff to keep you engaged on the website as we move into, June, July, August, September. But no, we will not be doing daily updates after the Kickstarter launches on Kickstarter. It will be a weekly update.
You got to get back to busting your butts on the game, right?
Yeah, Will has been so focused on Kickstarter, and it is a 24/7 job. This poor, I love Will to death. He has busted his ass and worn himself to a nub, basically managing this thing. But he was also, before that, one of the things he was in charge of was helping me with all the art acquisitions, which is a massive job. We have hundreds of artists and thousands of pieces of art. It's and rounds and rounds. It's crazy. And so we have to get back to some of that too, because not all the art's finished. Like we've been starting in on art descriptions for set 2, and so we've got a lot to do there too.
Do you want me and Bobby?
We're constantly looking for new artists. That's one of the big things we do too. We've sourced hundreds and hundreds of artists.
Dude, me and Bobby will do it.
I'd love
Bobby and I will do it. We'll design your next set of cards for you.
Awesome.
Or at
and
least a
act
couple
in the
of them.
movie.
Yeah, and we'll do your voice acting. We'll do it all.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, you have your cast right here. I can do girls' voices like this.
Oh,
my God, there's the wizard over there. Let's shoot
That's
him
pretty
with
good. You
fire.
can be Princess
That's your generic girl voice.
Princess Cory.
Cory, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
From the past. When you seemed like you can sell a product really well. When you were pitching to Upper Deck, the World of Warcraft card game, how hard was it to sell it? Did they buy it right away?
Yeah. It was during my interview. They asked me the question. They asked me the question, why not? Because I was from the video games industry, and I've been a hardcore trading card game player. I played Magic professionally, and I was, from day one of Magic, very into it. And so the reason I went to Upper Deck was because of those connections. And I remember during the interview they asked, like, why won't video games work as sort of a licensed component to card games? I think in the past there had been like a Tomb Raider one maybe. And I said, well, I don't think it's that it's video games in particular. I think it's what is the brand. And card games are ravenous in terms of content. And so one of the things that MMOs have that would really be nicely synergistic with card games is that they have a ton of content, and they're always updating their content. It's serialized. And so they said, oh, that's a good idea. And I said, but more importantly, MMOs create the idea of virtual space, of virtual goods. And so it would be so fun to put, virtual products into physical trading card packs, and you pop it open and have a code in there. And they'd be like, whoa, I just got this crazy, in-game bonus out of a pack of cards. And no one had done that at that point. I said we'd call them loot cards, and they'd be this great thing. And so after about that, and then I talked about raid decks, so I kind of pitched them these ideas a little bit off the top of my head, but it's stuff I've been thinking about. They got really excited, and that's when I got hired there and ran a bunch of different things, and eventually got everyone on the same page, and we went to Blizzard, and I pitched them. That was the harder pitch, pitching to Blizzard and getting them excited about it, but I was able to do it.
Nice. Let's see. Aviating Penguin wants to know, in Sanctum, which was an old online trading card game, they used to have a special quote-unquote character come online, and the X person to challenge him got to play him, and if they won, they got a free booster or a fun card. Do you have plans for anything like that? I guess like kind of a random encounter. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, there's definitely, like, when it comes to the single-player, you're talking about single-player experience or multiplayer experience?
It sounds like a multiplayer thing.
So, like, I'm playing someone else, and then there's the prize is basically we get a pack, whoever wins?
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's skirmishing, so you can play against anyone you want. But then also, if you're talking really about like the PvP component, playing other people, it's massive. So many different types of tournaments, from draft to the marathon come up with, to constructed to limited. I mean, there's just tons of different formats, and then in those different formats, there'll be prizes for sure. So the prizes can range from anywhere from platinum to packs of cards to special promotional cards. I mean, there's just tons of stuff. So
it'll be there.
Being digital is that I get this amazing space to have a lot of fun, sort of chasey, cool components in our prizing, and also just sort of how we do things. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think maybe there was something specific he was going for that I'm not answering his question, unfortunately.
Yeah. He's looking. I think he wants a specific feature from another game put into your game and wants to know if it's in there. But that's a little tricky.
Yes, I'll have a car racing, like in Formula One. I'll have soccer. I hear soccer games are popular.
Are there going to be any side-scrolling platformer levels?
Of course.
Where I'm like jumping on rabbit people and like watching them squish.
The funny thing is, like, we have built other gameplay modes that we do a TCG version of, like that old werewolf game where like you're trying to figure out who's the werewolf. We have one that was a Yeti. A Wendigo, and you're trying to figure out who is actually the Wendigo, and so we built that. We have a deck building sort of. We played deck building games before. It's very different from a TCG in some ways, and then borrows from TCGs in others. We have like a deck building-ish sort of a dungeon. We've got lots of different game mechanics in the dungeon experience that really give you a wide range. It's not like you're just going to be playing a trading card game over and over and over. It has lots of different like sort of variances thereof.
Oh man, did you just mention Rage briefly? White Wolf's card game? Rage?
No, I was talking about werewolves, but
werewolves.
Yes, I did play Rage. I had the werewolf on a motorcycle, aggravated damage with the...
Dude, that game, I met the guy that created that game recently and kind of asked him for my money back.
That's not nice. Rage was fun.
I give him a hard. I was just giving him a hard time, but like no. When that stuff came out, and this goes back to what you were talking about with Hex. It's like I just had nobody to play with. Like I was really into the game. Like I loved Rage, but nobody else was into it. And like I spent like a paycheck on booster packs like one time, and it's just so disheartening because you got this cool game and like you have enough cards that you even have enough cards for like 2 or 3 of your friends to play with you, and then nobody's into it.
Yeah. This was the thing. Like no one had my stamina. That was the thing. I had a lot of friends that played Magic and played different card games, but no one wanted to play as much as I did, except one friend named Darren. And we would go to a Denny's and play until 3 a.m. I mean, just literally playing Magic, game after game after game. I just couldn't stop. Like I wanted to, and even then, it was only because I was exhausted. When I woke up the next morning, I wanted to play more. And so finding people with the same stamina or having a large enough group so you could just kind of play everyone. And believe me, I have long box after long box filled with Shadow Fist and Jihad and every other.
Oh my God. There's another one I pissed a lot of money into. I was really into the vampires and werewolves back in the day.
Yeah, I like all that stuff was great. White Wolf was great. Like I love all I played LARPed. I played the live action vampire game. That is
Vampire the Masquerade.
I used to do that. That was Brewha.
Dude, I think our people all tell the same story here. I had a goth chick girlfriend that was so into LARPing Vampire the Masquerade when I was 17. So, of course, that meant I was LARPing vampires.
The sad part, I think I was 24 at the time. So I was, I don't have the excuse of being a teenager. And I got to say, being out around other, like, civilians and the physical challenge and, rock, paper, scissoring someone, Walkavian, yeah. I loved it. I won't lie. Like, I'm a nerd gamer through and through from, LARPing to RPGs to card games. I mean, there's pretty much no gaming one time or another. Starting with Monopoly as a tiny little kid.
Dude, so we got more and more questions building up here in the chat room, so I want to start getting some of these asked. Let's see. Any Croani wants to know, any chance on a physical art book? Would love to pay for one. Also, any chance to get some wallpapers for PC, mobile, or tablet?
The first question, maybe. I mean, we're going to make an art book for the digital art book for the Kickstarter. Making it physical is easy enough. So maybe one of the things we could do, like there's a lot of print-on-demand publishing stuff now. So maybe we'll put it up as a print-on-demand option. My fear is that, and again, I was in charge at Blizzard of all the licensed goods, and one of the things that I greenlit for Upper Deck to do was a physical art book, and that was for WoW TCG, which has a lot of people, and I wouldn't call that a big seller. So with any physical goods that you produce something that then doesn't sell and you lost a bunch of money. So it maybe on a print-on-demand sort of capacity would be kind of cool. And what was the second question? I didn't quite understand. I'm sorry.
Let's see. They want wallpapers. They want to know if they can get
more
some wallpapers.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I have some amazing graphic designers, and the guy in charge of graphic design on Hex, his name is Larry Renack, is a genius, like my favorite, just so talented. But we've been working so much on doing all the updates for the Kickstarter, and so I think once the Kickstarter ends, we'll have a little more bandwidth, and we'll put some more wallpapers up for sure.